Hey, people keep asking me if I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. You're probably wondering why am I wearing this ridiculous looking thing. All right, so let's talk about it. There's a variant out there for COVID-19. How did Daygame? So let's talk about the big elephant in the room. I am Johnny Lee, the world's best Daygame coach, 476 laid pool testimonials. I know a thing or two about Daygame during the lockdowns. My students gotten laid from lockdown 1, 2, and 3. So let's talk about it. So the first thing that's happening is a lot of people are scared because even 25-year-olds are in the hospital due to this COVID-19 thing, this variant. And people are demoralized. They're locked down. They can only go to certain places now. We can't go into different zones. And people want to know, how am I supposed to Daygame out there? And I'm going to tell you. So, for example, in lockdown 2, a lot of my Indian students, hey, what's up? They will actually go to their location. The police and military will beat them until they're back in their homes. So the first thing you need is a good alibi. You always need to have a plan that you're going to operate within your zone. So you're going to look at new logistics. You're going to look at all the places that are around you that are essential. So grocery shopping is a must. Another places you can go to is the park and other areas in your area, but they might say is non-essential travel because they want to find you. And of course, this advice I'm giving you, I'm not responsible for what happens. You decide your level of involvement. So that's the first thing to think about. If you can stay in your zone, that's the solution. The opener is going to be a little bit different for your new opener. You're going to have to switch it for the COVID-19 variants, since it will be like, excuse me, I'm looking for a place called whatever, XYZ. Do you know where I can find it? Same thing as before. Oh, by the way, I've noticed something else about you. I've noticed your X plus Y. Are you Z? Hey, I know we should be social distancing. This is COVID variant thing going around. Don't worry, I don't have it. I'm healthy. See, that's the change, the COVID variant thing. So rather than talking about this virus thing that's going around, you can talk about that because people are scared. You need to call out the elephant in the room. If you don't call it out, they're going to freak the fuck out. So that's the modification. And all right, so what can you do to protect yourself besides that? You're going to have to supplement. It's very important to supplement. So one of my Indian students, his wife caught COVID-19 in India, and she was supposed to be coming to Canada. And that's unfortunate. So on airplane, they sent her back. It's pretty bad situation over there. There is so much COVID-19, it's unbelievable. So what do I suggest? And she's on these things. Well, first of all, I suggest vitamin D3. I looked at all of the data, and the people that's taking vitamin D3 or they're not deficient are not in the hospitals with COVID-19. They are not dying, basically. The mortality rate is lower among those with the higher vitamin D3. So that's the first principles. And also, another thing that I've noticed is the zinc levels. The lower the zinc levels, the more likely you are to die from COVID-19. And these are the things about deficiencies. They actually take time. So for my London student that got 10 fuck buddies, 5-some, 2 girlfriends that are models, and 2 models that he banged, and then one became a girlfriend. He was heavily supplemented on vitamin D3. He took excessive amounts, although he wasn't taking zinc at the time. They had the London variant, and he did not catch it. So what's the lesson here? Because in India, my student's wife, her uncle owns a hospital. So therefore, she can get the best treatments. And she is on vitamin D3 and zinc at the same time. And her recovery is extremely fast. But most people don't know that. They're supplementing with oxygen. Of course, you need oxygen, but vitamin D deals with inflammation for the lungs. And zinc helps with COVID-19. So with that combination, it works. And I figure a lot of things out. I figure out a lot of these things. So to correct it, I once had a vitamin D deficiency. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more videos in the future. So basically, it took me a few months to correct. And if you have a darker complexion, for example, in India, you have darker skin. The skin makes the vitamin D. So how you get zinc? Zinc, you can go to the pharmacies or those kind of places, and they are supplemented in a bottle. If you want to know the exact amount you should be supplementing, go ask me if you're part of Johnny Elite Access. If you're part of Johnny Elite Access and other programs, go ask me the exact dosage for vitamin D3 and also zinc. But by supplementing this, basically your levels of vitamin D and zinc does not happen overnight. So the reason why they're saying, oh, vitamin D does not work as well as it should based on the scientific studies, it's very simple. It is because at the time, hey, what's up? Because at the time for the vitamin D, it takes months to correct the deficiencies. So my students were completely supplemented on vitamin D3 for so long. So when they're day gaming, they actually do not catch any of the variants. And since it's working for my Indian student in the hospital, and she is getting his wife is getting vitamin D3 and zinc, a lot of it, supplementation, not intravenously. Her recovery is only like a few days, like 2 days. And she was having pneumonia. That means in COVID-19, that fluid fills your lungs, which makes it harder to breathe. Because the way the lungs work is that there's like these sacs of fluid that are at the end of the lungs, and it makes it very hard to breathe. But however, by dealing with the vitamin D3 inflammation of the lungs and with the zinc, she was able to recover extremely quickly. And when I told my student that, he actually told all of his family members in India to supplement on zinc and vitamin D right away. He's spreading the word to every single one of his relatives. So I might be able to save a few lives. Recently, I saved a few students' lives. I had a student who is Middle Eastern and short guy. Well, he almost got stabbed. So he tried to fuck this model. And the model is like, she says, oh, our boyfriend's in jail, therefore it's okay, right? But then they came after him. And then, well, he already got laid from Elite 30. He was one of those guys from those forum groups or something. And he wanted to train with me, like Reddit or something. So I got him laid within a week. But however, they attacked him and he beat the shit out of somebody. They're blind in one eye. And, fucked up story. And he got stabbed 3 times, but it didn't go through his chest. So it's a pretty fucked up world out there. It's a pretty fucked up world. But I'll post his video testimonials soon. He only learned Elite 30. He already had good social skills. He just didn't have the body language. But let's continue about the vitamin D and the zinc. So for vitamin D, to correct the deficiency, let me write on this whiteboard. So in the very first month, you might be seeing from over here, it doesn't move up a lot. So this is like month 1. It might be here. Even if you supplement heavily, it's not going to move up. Around the 2nd month, it's going to move up a little bit to here. And 3rd month may not move up a lot, but eventually it'll move up. So it might take 3 months depending on who you are. So if you don't have this in your system, right, vitamin D, EIT, you are fucked. Because most of the people that are in the hospital for COVID-19, that they don't have very high vitamin D levels or zinc, and so is zinc. And make sure it's vitamin D3, not vitamin D. And I will get vitamin D drops. Basically, you can get something you can drop it into your drink. You can just open it and drop it into your drink. Yes, is that mystery method? No, fuck mystery method. So mystery method is bullshit. It doesn't work that well for Daygame. ABCs of Attraction uses this misery method. And they don't have a lot of late testimonials, but you say, oh, other people uses it too. Well, they have 2 fucking late testimonials. You think that works? 2. I have 467. That is like about 238 times more late poll testimonials. So M3 model, fuck M3 model. No, this is just for COVID-19. Okay? So let's not get off track. So obviously, it's almost like creating your Alka-Seltzer vaccine, because even though the vaccine has a low efficiency, like 70%, that means it's like a condom, right? It's like it only works 70% of the time. That's exactly the same with the vaccine. That means you can still catch it. Even with Moderna and Pfizer vaccines, even if it's like 94, 95%, you can still catch COVID-19 in the variants. So I'm hoping one of my students who's also works in the medical field did not catch it, because you're not on elite access, so you better contact me. Where the fuck are you? He's also another late testimonial. You'll see in the future. And I hope he's fine. That means I got 5 students laid within a week period. A week. And all the haters are like, oh, don't follow Johnny Elite's haircut. Not this one, but the one that students are using. Or don't follow his fashion. Some bullshit. No, I fuck you, because it got 5 students laid in a week. But we'll talk about that. So for the efficiency, you have to now wear a mask when you day game. And what I recommend is to get a phone and get your pictures on there. This is the perfect opportunity if you're using Instagram or something, and she's wondering what your face looks like. I would not drop the mask and just start smiling, because you don't want to breathe in that COVID variant. It is not worth dying over. So what you want to do is to show her pictures on your phone. You just be like, oh, it's over here, blah, blah, blah. And you can also DHV that way with better pictures. You're not trying to show off, but you can show pictures that show some kind of value, but a good picture of your face, your best picture. So that's one thing you can do. Okay, let's continue. So now that you know to take vitamin D3 and zinc, let's move on to the next thing I want to talk about, because there's an exact amount that you're supposed to be using, and you can actually use a lot of vitamin D3. And it's not about more oxygen. They're not getting it. It's constraining everything. Okay, the next thing is for COVID-19, you want to think more like a ninja, not like a samurai. So what do I mean by that? During COVID-19, your tactics need to change, because the big, strong dating coaches are like, look at my sword, right? It's so big, right? Look at my big sword. I'm tall and strong. Look at my sword. And they think just because, they hold a big sword, it's transferable. It's not transferable. Only my system consistently works during COVID-19, during a pandemic, lockdowns, and all that stuff. Like with a virus going around, my system. Their system did not work during COVID-19. Their old system, their old products did not work. So they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So you have to be more of a ninja rather than a samurai. So ninjas also practice at home. So when they go out on a mission, day gaming, they kill and they get the intel and they get the fuck out of there. So you want to be practicing at home. And you're like, what the fuck? Or you're just going to be out there with a big sword, just like flirting and teasing all day, vibing your SMV. And if you don't have SMV, well, that's a bad thing, because your autism, it's not social skills, it's social skills, a gamified version of social skills. You're going to completely destroy your life. You're going to catch COVID-19. And that is not what you want to have happen at all. So what I recommend is that social skills is social stealth. My students are working on a flow drill. A flow drill is what the London student was working on for 2 fucking weeks. Every single day, he kept failing. He just kept failing and failing and failing. And what happened with the flow drill was, damn, is he ever going to get this? He's so autistic. But that's a funny thing, because some of my other students that just lost their virginity, and you'll see their testimonial coming up, and they're only learning social skills. They're not learning any gaming tactics. And the reason why it works during COVID-19 is very simple. It's very, very simple. It is evolutionary psychology. What I mean by that is, think about it this way. Out there is a pandemic, and the people are scared of autistic behaviors, especially when you're a gaming PUA. They are not afraid of people that are social, that can communicate with social skills, not socio skills, social skills. Those kind of people that can communicate, she drops her guard because they're part of the in tribe. Everything is evolutionary psychology. When you think about muscles, why is muscles important, or height, or a V-shaped body? Because it suggests that you can raise a family one day and protect her from saber-toothed tigers. You can protect your family. Why is money important? Because one day you can raise a family. It's all related to procreation, and it's all related to offsprings. And that's how it works. So for you, if you're acting autistic like a PUA, it's not harder out there. For my students, it has been easier. But the only hard thing is that when they're a ninja in their training, super hard, then it becomes hard to level up because their social skills are so shit. What took my London student 2 weeks to master is taking more than 2 months for some of my other students. They're so slow in adaptation. You will not survive if you don't switch to the ninja tactics. That's what I'm saying. You have no chance whatsoever. Have you heard of I don't give a fuck about those people. They're red pill shit. I mean, fuck them. So let's see. Who's SMV anything? Yeah, so basically, if you look at the student results, my students are like ninjas, Navy SEALs. They practice at home, so they can apply out there and close faster. And that's a funny thing, because one thing you do not understand about practicing at home, this is what they call no stakes practice. No stakes practice. Imagine that you have to cut down 100 trees. What will you be doing, most of you? Most of you will be RSDing it. You go there in the autistic fuck, you'll be like, I'm gonna cut down this tree, right? I'm gonna cut down this tree, right? I'm gonna take down this tree. And what's gonna happen? Nothing, because it's a dull fucking axe. It's a dull fucking axe, and you're spam approaching without any fucking skills. That's exactly what's happening. So what you should be doing instead is to sharpen the saw or the axe. So that way you can knock the tree in half in one hit. That's how my students do it. They close fast. They don't do that many approaches to get that lay. And the group of students that already got laid, group A, the Navy SEALs, they got laid very quickly. So they're already taking a break from Daygame. Group B, however, are a bunch of fucking unteachable cases, autistic fucks that ain't learning shit. I'm still gonna get them laid, but they don't adapt for shit, and that's a problem. When they practice at home, that means every single time they're fucking up the social skills flow drill. Guess what happens? It's the same shit out there. That means you can take the rejections at home and correct it. And a lot of people is like, oh, you should be out there. You should be approaching out there. And they tell you, it's just go out there and approach it. You can adjust, right? You can, like I said, game is just a value delivery system. It's like a fire hose of your LMS. How much water do you put out there? You're like, wait, so you're redirecting the value that looks, money, and status? That's correct. That's what game is. It's a gamified version of vibing your LMS. That's why they love to emote and vibe their LMS. That's what they're not telling you. Social skills adds more value. So imagine that social skills is worth 2.5 points. Social calibrations is worth 2.5. Emotional control, not emotional impact, which is vibing your SMB. Emotional control is worth 2.5 points, and game is worth 2.5, which is a value delivery system. How old is too old for Daygame? You don't know how old am I. At least now my hair grew back a little bit here. I'm probably older than most of you here anyways. So I started in Daygame in 2001. And I know I look like I'm 22 right now, today. Some days I look like I'm 24. Some days my cheeks get chubbier. Some days I have a perfect jawline. It depends. But today's one of those good jawline days and no body fat. Some days I eat too much pizza. But the thing about the age is that it's never too old. I had a 52-year-old student getting a girlfriend, 6 lays a blowjob with a woman way below, not below, way above. He's way below her look scale. He's like 3 out of 10 in looks. So it's more about height And it's more about height, race, and other things, because he had no looks. He was like 2 or 3 out of 10. And he's like, thank you, John, for calling me 2 or 3. You are 2 or 3, you motherfucker. My German student. You are 2 or 3 out of 10. But however, he wears elevator shoes to boost a little bit of the height. He gets rejected nonstop if he doesn't actually wear his elevator shoes. Height matters in day game. It doesn't matter in Tinder, and it doesn't matter in night game. It matters in day game if you're not using some kind of Instagram to DHV your value. And you had to do it without it. Height does fucking matter. But my short students still gets laid. But some of my students, the Asian guys that do get laid with hot models and stuff in London. There's a guy with a blonde hair. You can see my testimonial. So I showed his face to another student. I crossed out his name. I want to show another Vietnamese student, this Vietnamese guy. And he's like, holy shit, this guy is better looking than you, John. This guy looks like a Korean pop idol. I'm decent looking. Like, I'm better looking than most Asians. But that guy's way better looking than me. And so in some ways, you need to compensate for what you lack. Social skills. And also, he was singing in a band. So that status matters. Status is very powerful. And that's a cool job. Is like saying, oh, I'm a DJ, or, you know, I'm this or I'm that. I'm in a band. Those are high value, high status kind of occupations that you can DHV with, or sing, or you're a music producer, stuff like that. So as I was saying, focus on practicing at home. So what's no stakes practice? I don't mean like steaks as in eating steaks, but I'm not sure if you can hear this. Let me turn this on. Okay, see this one. So this guy's called Tim Ferriss.
Not copy was big and large. He also had learned to swim until a few years ago, which is very embarrassing.
So he's talking about no stakes practice.
And Russian, including he has the inherent skills, although.
So basically, what he's
the knife properly, which you see.
Okay, so he's saying that in order to learn how to cut with a knife, he actually used a plastic knife and started cutting vegetables like lettuce. And you're like, what the fuck?
Hold the knife properly, which you see here, and then practice while you're watching Game of Thrones or whatever the hell you might be watching on TV, and just cut celery. Just get used to cutting celery.
Celery.
Do that for 20 minutes, 2 or 3 times. You'll be comfortable with a knife, and then you can use the stuff that can stab people. But start with the no stakes approach.
So no stakes approach. That means what I'm teaching is pretty much similar to what Tim Ferriss said, because we both think the same. We're very optimized. So you're saying that a lot of my students are using no stakes practice, just like what he said about using this thing to cut with a knife, which is a fucking genius concept. Imagine this, my boot camp, you always wonder, why do people keep doing drills? Why are they doing drills? Like, what the fuck? And they're getting punished. They're doing push-ups. And then they finally approach once they get it right. Because they're doing no stakes practice. But nobody's ever thought of that. They always think more spam approach. No, it's like a ninja. I'm training him like a ninja, and he's going out there and going for the kill. That's a new concept. Nobody's ever taught it except me. So anyone that tries to take credit for my testimonials, they have no idea what drills am I using with social skills that I'm teaching them. I'm telling you, Daygame is twice as easy if you got social skills, not social skills. It's like lifting the Thor's hammer. You can't lift it without social skills. Unless you're in a third world country or some shit like that. But we're not talking about that. You can't lift the Thor's hammer no matter how much you try. It's going to be like impossible when you try to do that RSD way with no skills and spam approaching, hoping to have volume, which you'll be in the hospital at 25 years old with the COVID-19 variant. But what will work is social skills. They have this flow drill. And I'm telling you, my autistic students cannot get this down. And it's really, really frustrating. In one of John Elite Access for the menu, the very first thing is that they can ask me a question, or they can ask me a follow-up question, and that's for one day. They have to get Elite 30 first before they can get Elite Access. Or number 2, they can ask me, John, what is the next step? What's the next step? And I was like, you got to do this or this, and you focus on that. It's like having access to Elon Musk's mind. Hey, what should I be doing? Just this and this. Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, because I'm like Elon Musk of Daygame. No, just fucking do it. And they're like, okay. And they get results. they get results. How much supplement should I do? This, that. They know. Next step. Work on this. Work out with that machine. Use this exercise. Switch out of this. Okay. And then next step is called the discipline, which is very, very necessary for building skills. If you want to be more like a ninja type. If you want to be more of a ninja type, you have to build some skills because they practice a lot. I should have, at least for today, I should have brought a samurai sword and a ninja sword. Just so it'll be cooler for this video, but I forgot to. I didn't even feel like being here on YouTube Live. I just am tired all the time. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a long hauler from COVID, or I've caught it before, but I'm always tired. And that's one of the things. I'm always coughing. I'm always tired. And it just doesn't fucking go away. So it is a serious thing. And now people at 25 years old can be in the hospital. So no stakes practice is everything. Like, seriously. And that's a funny thing. Because think about the program. When you look at my sales letter, Kaizen, the program Kaizen, it's a body language 1 day at a time, 30 days of body language. What are they learning? Fucking body language, right? Still practice. You never stop practicing Elite 30. If you guys were smart, right? And I'm just telling you guys, secretly, if you guys were smart, I will practice Elite 30 in front of the fucking mirror 1 day at a time. And my Middle Eastern student, the short guy, which you guys will learn who he is in the future, the guy who fucking, got in the fight, almost got stabbed, broke the other guy's eyes, and a bunch of crazy shit happening. Well, that's not important, okay? I'm not responsible if you do crazy shit. However, he was practicing Elite 30 for 16 hours a day. You're like, what the fuck? 16 hours? He slept a little bit. He woke up. He practiced in front of the fucking mirror. This is what you guys don't understand. Because you say, oh, it's a game of volume, 10%. Well, fuck you. No. The reason why you see my infields on the very first approach, you see, that's the infield, first approach, is because I practice in front of the mirror every single time. I have a mirror right over there, and it's called attacking the mirror. Every time I walk across the motherfucking mirror, I practice Kaizen. You're like, what the fuck? Really? Every single time. 50 times a fucking day. So I work at one piece at a time. That's what Kaizen is. That's how I created the course. And look at how many students got laid. Every student, except for one who's a unteachable case, which I'll talk about in the future, did not get laid. But every other student, of course, a lot of them were Caucasians, but they got laid. And I'm going to have a future Kaizen student who's a tall, good-looking white guy. So nobody is discriminated for their race. I don't give a fuck what your race is. If you are training under Johnny Elite, you are a tall, good-looking white guy, great. You are part of the tribe of Johnny Elite. You are family. So just want to put that out there. But I can't wait for a future superstar to replace the London student. For the London student, he's already with his girlfriend and he's out of the game. Okay? He's out of the game. He's not here anymore. And there are some other students, like the tall black guy. He's already in the military right now and he's already shipped overseas fighting in probably Afghanistan. So some of the students that are not here are literally fighting in combat. I get a lot of military students. And are you taking the vaccine? I have a little bit of a fear of needles. If I didn't have fear of needles, this is why I tell students never take steroids, or don't even let a coach tell you to take steroids. You have the right to refuse. Even if they tell you before the boot camp, take steroids, you can say, fuck you. Fuck you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't ever fucking take steroids. But I'm scared of needles. That's why I don't have a tattoo. I would have pierced my ears. I would have a fucking tattoo. I would have done all. I'll probably have a tattoo right across my neck here or something, and across the arm. But I'm just too fucking scared of needles. So right now, I'm really fucking afraid. And it was a phobia. When I was growing up, I still have nightmares about it. One time, I had this nurse, and my mom was bringing me to get a blood test. And what happened was, you should tell the vaccinator that you need a needle for you. They train. Yeah, I hope so, because usually what they do when I take a blood test, I get so fucking scared, right? They try to poke as little as possible, and I don't look at it. I have to look the other way, and then that way I can. It's not the fear of the pain. I'm sure it's painful, But what I'm afraid of is looking at it, because when I was really young, a nurse did not put a cotton swab right on the wound. So what happened was I kept bleeding all over the place. My mom took me to the bank afterwards. I was bleeding everywhere. I was nearly like half dead. Seriously. And then I was like, then had to put the cotton afterwards, and the nurse did not get in trouble. She didn't even give a shit. And then when I was in high school, I got vaccinated. I don't know for what, but everyone was getting vaccinated. So they start calling my name, whatever your name is, which I don't want to say here. Get your vaccination. Everyone start laughing at me. They're like, ha ha, you're a pussy, right? And then what happened is after I got my vaccination, which was painful as fuck, then a bunch of people, like these bullies and shit, like they're just standing outside. Everyone that gets vaccinated, they punch everyone in the arm over and over. I was like, what the fuck, right? It's like, why are they punching everyone in the arm? They're punching everyone. I'm not sure if they're punching the girls in the arm, but they're punching all the guys. Boom, boom. It's like, what the fuck? That's fucked up. And I also remember when I was younger, I had to take like 4 needle shots because I found my dad had hepatitis B or something. When I was born, I did not have hepatitis. Neither did my mom or my brother. But however, we had to start, since we found out the family members and stuff. My uncle already died from hepatitis B, one of them. And he married a white woman who was taller than him. She's like 5'11" or something. So I'm not sure if that's why I'm into taller women, because it's something that I'm familiar with. But for him, my uncle married a taller woman, and her family is like 6'6" and stuff. And my cousin is half Chinese, half white, and he is 6'6", nerdy fucking doctor type, but he's tall as hell. He's like 6'6", half Chinese. Like, what the hell? So, having said that, that's when I found out, and I had to get 4 shots. It was the most painful fucking thing I've ever had. I don't know why it's so fucking painful, but I just can't. I'm just scared of needles. And I know that sounds like, oh, John's a pussy. Everyone has a fucking phobia, no matter how tough you are. Even if you're Navy SEAL. Some people are afraid of insects. Some people are afraid of snakes. Some people are afraid of heights. But I just can't get over that needle fear. I don't know how I'm going to get myself over there with a needle. I would freak the fuck out. It's not that I haven't seen needles before. I have. It scares the shit out of me when I do. I can't even look in that direction. That's all I'm saying. So let's continue about the no stakes practice. So if Kaizen and everything solves all the problems at home when you're practicing Elite 30, then what do I recommend for all those with Elite 30? Well, you do the 30-day challenge out there. So for the Middle Eastern student, I told him, hey, you are going to practice at home 16 hours a day. Everything that you have said as it applies to the game has been true. Exactly. Everything I say is the truth because it's just nonstop late testimonials. Just look at my landing page. It's just fucking one testimonial after another. Lockdown 1, lockdown 2, lockdown 3. And then like fucking 476 late post testimonials. And when you got these fucking cocksuckers are like, oh yeah, I got the most optimized system. Optimize my ass. I mean, 238 times more late post testimonials. It's like they have 2 for Daygame and the whole screen's black. 2. How is that optimized? And this is what I'm thinking. Tinder testimonials does not count as late testimonials and does not count as late counts. Tinder is like a fucking food app. It doesn't fucking count because it's not pickup. It's not pickup. Like, what are you picking up? Well, night games pick up. Day games pick up. But Tinder is ordering food from a goddamn fucking food app. How is that even possible that... I cannot thank you enough. Yeah, no problem. I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy that you said that because it's very important. I can read the comment. I'm not going to approve the comment for this one, but I know what you're saying. And just say, I know exactly what you're saying. Okay? So having said that, the Middle Eastern student who got laid in 1 week, and he was from Reddit because that forum group and stuff, like some of the students want to train under me and some of them like were dissuaded. But after that, as soon as I was like, dude, I got so many haters this week. I got hate from here. I got hate from here. I got hate from here. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. I like the way you're talking, John. You just don't give a fuck about anything. I'm like a loose cannon. And he said, I want to train with you. And I said, you're the perfect student. You're exactly everything I'm looking for. And when I talked to him on the phone, I was like, shit, you are the perfect fucking student. It's like I manifested you in my life. And what happened? You know, the first day that he did Elite 30, he practiced in front of the mirror 16 hours. And he's like, do I have to do 16 hours? I was like, fuck you. And he's like, fine, I'll do 16 hours. And I kept arguing with him because he's Middle Eastern. A little bit on the stubborn side. Stubborn as fuck. He tells me his opinion. I was like, shut the fuck up. I don't care about your opinion. You have to earn the right to have an opinion around me. Okay. 16 hours. John, day number 1. All the women in my social circle that didn't give a fuck about me. And he told me that he's actually taken all these day game courses for 6 years. Not a single lay of it. He got lays from social circle before, night game, but nothing for day game until he took my course 1 week. Boom. Then he got his lay. But the first day, the women were into him. The second day, they were begging him to drive them home. And it's like, what the fuck is happening, John? Day 1 of his lesson was the happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe, the more natural, happy vibe. And when he changed from an angry Middle Eastern guy to that, holy shit, the women opened up. And I told him to change that to my fashion too. You got to wear the pants that all my students are wearing. So if I got these haters saying, don't wear John's fashion, you know, or his hairstyle, right? Because if you use John's, find your own fashion, find your own hairstyle. The dumbest advice I've ever heard in my goddamn life. And I'll tell you why it's stupid. Because the Asians that are using their own hairstyle or finding their own fashion, they are getting beaten up with COVID-19. So they got punched in the back of the head, thrown around, and they've been shot at too, the Asian women. And every single day is being called, like, you know, slur this, slur that, slur. All the time, every single time. It's gone up by 400%. And they're saying use the fucking, you know, Wuhan wash fashion. That's so fucking stupid. Because the people that are walking around protecting the Asians, the ones that are bringing them around to different areas, they look more China washed or Wuhan washed than the actual people they're protecting. And that's why I want to tell them. Have you ever had anyone laugh at you while you yell at them doing your day game boot camp or training? No, they don't laugh. Most of the students are like, they're like a little bit on the afraid side. They don't fucking, they can resist in the beginning. So what's happening in the boot camp is what they call ego destruction. So you might be thinking, oh, John's like fucking, he's destroying people's self-esteem and ego and confidence. No, that's the dumbest statement I've ever heard. I'm doing the opposite of destroying your ego. I'm actually I'm destroying the ego first. I'm not destroying the confidence, because competence equals confidence. I'll say this again. Competence equals confidence. That means the only way you can really feel confident is when you're competent. Just like the Middle Eastern student practicing in front of the mirror, then practicing in the social circle, and then going out there and day game, 16 hours a day, every day, Elite 30, 1 week late. What they're doing is that they're building up their ninja skills, basically, over and over, repetition, correcting. And then they start to feel more confident. So what happens? When does a student get laid in the boot camp? It's usually when they keep resisting. They'll resist that as hard as they can, because they're low self-esteem and high ego. They'll resist. And all of a sudden, when you break down their ego far enough, it's like the military. And most people are saying, well, you know, you can't do that, John. They're paying you and you should comfort them because that's not high vibrational energy. But I say that's bullshit. Because once you break their ego down, it's like the military. It's like the military, like the Navy SEALs, or it's like Marine Corps or the US Army. Once you break down the soldier, you can rebuild them. That means once they submit their ego and say, okay, John, I'll do it your way, they'll release the handbrakes. That's what you guys don't understand. They'll release the handbrakes. That means they'll stop resisting. And guess what happens? Within an hour or two, they pull a woman home and they start believing in themselves, because competence equals confidence. It's not a new concept. And they calling me the enemy, the guy who is just like Gordon Ramsay scaring the shit out of the students. No, I'm actually turning them into super soldiers, because soldiers train over and over. They ninja it. They train like a ninja. And so do people in mixed martial arts. They practice drills and stuff over and over, right? Punching the pads. They practice sparring. It's not always they're out there fighting or SMVing it. Now you guys are realizing, holy shit. So you're saying all this time, John, that all these other people out there doing Daygame is just almost equivalent to going to an MMA fight without training. They're just going out there SMVing it, taking massive action. That's exactly what I'm telling you guys. That's exactly what I'm telling you guys. You're like, holy shit. How come nobody taught it this way before? Why don't they just break down the person's ego during the boot camp and then rebuild them into something like a super soldier where they release the handbrakes? Because they want your fucking money. Don't you understand? Because their products don't fucking work. That's why they have to release more products. Especially COVID-19 and bring some cash flow. Their products don't fucking work. Their old products did not get a single lay for the students during COVID-19. And you wonder, what the fuck are they teaching? How come my products, both of them, work during COVID-19? Doesn't make any sense, does it? So is it really the same system as other people? No, it's a very different system. As you know, I've been in the game since 2001. I've been teaching since 2012. You're like, holy shit. Yeah, I used to teach people for very, very cheap, and they'll recommend me to their friends. I get referral clients. So once I got him laid, and then next referral client comes, he pays me in cash, and then he refers another person. Hey, this person might need your help. That's how I got all my clients before. That was the first year. That was even before I was gaming elite. Around 2014, I decided I already got so many students laid. That's why you see in my bootcamp page. Why not go online? Why not teach online? Because one person was begging me to Skype with me. And I was like, oh, fuck, I don't want to teach online. And that's when I, got everything going, the business, everything, at 2014. That's when you saw me online. But I already have all this experience. So even as gaming elite, when I'm teaching, I already have more testimonials than anyone who's in second place. That means I already beaten everyone since I was in 2014, 2015. I already beaten everyone. I don't even know why anyone would even try to compare themselves to me as a dating coach for Daygame. There is no competition. That means I already field tested every fucking system. And when I tell you this stuff, you guys are so lucky that I can give you a system that is a solution. Because Elite 30 from Hard Case to Hero, guess what? That is social skills, social calibrations, not socio skills. It's not fucking. Remember this chart. And when I made that video and nobody fucking understood it on YouTube, because I was not live, but you guys remember this chart, don't you? I said that for social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. I told you guys, I fucking told you to go this way, all right? This way. Does that make sense? Not the other way. It's not game and emoting the SMV and then you start hunching. That's why you need to use flirts and teases. By the way you talk to her with confidence and with the right calibrated body language, you don't actually need to do that much flirting. So whatever flirts you do with a question, which is a new concept I'm teaching you guys now, I'm introducing to the world. A flirt is called indirect flirt. That means you don't have to say, oh, by the way, you got very sexy legs and try to be an autistic fuck, vibing your SMV. You can ask her a question. What made you have those sexy legs? Do you do yoga? Are you a flexible person? And you continue the conversation. So you're saying that flirts can be a question? That's correct. And when I talk about DHV stories, these fucking idiots are like, oh, yeah, you're not doing DHVs correctly. Oh, is that right? So they're like, oh, I'm doing indirectly. But that's the problem, because there's 3 levels to DHV. It's like Inception, 1, 2, and 3. It goes deeper. So the first one, they might be indirectly. I was traveling to whatever, Brazil and blah, 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 right? Trying to show off, and I was a DJ. So that's level 1. See, Johnny Lee's game has been evolved. So these are newer concepts. It's in one of the videos. Inception level 2, deeper. You know, when I was then you don't have to say in travel in Brazil. You can say, you know, she's so annoying and stuff, but I almost got kidnapped in Brazil. And one thing that happened was that she found out later on I was a DJ. Okay, that's level 2. That's great. But what's level 3? Level 3 is like, you know, it's crazy. One time I almost got kidnapped, and that's crazy because in Colombia this happened, but in Brazil, right? And that's where women met me, and she's like, I can't believe that anybody is a DJ these days. And you see how indirect it is? That's like 3 levels down. This is indirect. The word's indirect. So it's not just a direct flirt, not a direct opener. It's not just a fucking direct fucking autistic gaming. It's not gaming fucking tactics, guys. Don't you understand? When my students have perfect body language, and the longer you stay there, the more her attraction builds from level 1, 2, and 3. So at first, she'll be looking at you. You can have a sexual undertone, but with a good body language, you don't need to flirt and touch as much. And then number 2, the longer you talk to her, her attraction begins to build because you have that sexual undertone in your mind. And then over level 3, she starts thinking about your dick or your ass. But to get here, and here, you need to have the conversation that lasts a certain amount of time. Unless you're day gaming women who are 10 out of 10, then you can really just tease really hard and get the fuck out of there because they're not used to connecting with guys. But if you're dealing with 9s or 8.5s, 8s, 7s, 6, or something like that, 8.5s, whatever, then you can do it like this. You can build it up, have a social comfort. And then, here's the big secret you motherfuckers don't know. All this day game stuff is a waste of fucking time. That means you just need to get her walking with you. So if you talk for 6 to 8 minutes here, you see that? Right here. Guess what happens? You already got here, you know, building a trust. It's like a boxing match. You tease whenever she's giving you trouble. You flirt whenever she's talking too much. It's that simple. Because the students are autistic. Because the students are so fucking autistic that when they're talking to women, they're delusional. They can't see. They can only see if you're smiling or you're frowning. So they call you low vibrational energy. They're autistic. It literally overrides their perceptions. And this is the funny thing. I've been making my students listen for 5 hours a day, 5 subliminal messages about self-esteem. So if I can raise their self-esteem, I can lower their ego. And they did it for 7 days in a row. And every single day they listened to their infield, their audio infield. And they're like, John, all the mistakes that you told me, I can hear it now. I was like, congratulations, motherfucker. You always had a shitty fucking infield. But it's like an onion, they're peeling it. You see that? This is why it's so hard for them to get that conversation to last 6 to 8 minutes. At some point, you add social comfort. So that way it makes it easier to walk with her. So all this fucking high-fiving, all this flirting and all this shit is just vibing their SMV. You don't need that. You just need 6 to 8 minutes and her feet is disengaged. So what's the point of all that day gaming early stuff? There's no point. So fuck the number of clothes. You don't get a number of clothes in the beginning. You walk with her and you push it further because it's like sales. It's like sales. You want to close the deal that day. You want to close that high ticket deal on that day. You don't want to be at the mercy of phone numbers early on because it'll be like a 10%. If that's white people, 10% of the women coming out on dates, they say 10% closed. Yeah, I don't see any fucking proof from open to sex for white dating coaches. And this is the fact. It's not about racism or anything like that. It's a fact. That's all I'm saying. Why listen to them? No, but it's about the polling fields, right? The polls. Fuck you. Or the students, the polls. It's like, well, what about students from open to sex? Right? You can see on my boot camp page, students getting his dick sucked. What about that? Oh, no, there's not looking. That means their students haven't shown a single bit of proof. Not even one. Tinder, fuck. So stupid. Anyways, I digress. So what I'm saying is that if you can get talking 6 to 8 minutes with a social comfort in between, and flirt whenever you need to, and tease whenever you need to, and then a social comfort, get her opening up, then her feet's disengaged. Then what's the point of all this fucking stupid day game number close videos? If that's all it takes to disengage her to walk with you. Holy shit, that's first principles. Get her walking with you. You can't do it any earlier than 6 to 8 minutes. Then why get the phone number there? Why not go further, then get the phone number so you can solidify the fucking number? These motherfuckers don't get it. They don't fucking get it. This mystery method shit. Stupid. Have you ever laughed during the blah blah boot camps? All right. If you guys like what you're hearing and you're learning a lot, give it a thumbs up. Okay? So let's continue. So what I'm trying to say is we're talking about COVID-19 Daygame. So yeah, you got to practice at home. You got to level up. Just like my short Middle Eastern student. I'm losing my voice. Maybe I'll stop this within an hour. Then after that, 16 hours a day. It's kind of like the best way to understand it is why do it 16 hours a day? Maybe you don't have 16 hours. Maybe you got like 10 hours. Imagine this is an oil field, okay? Right here, oil, right? You're in Iraq and you're in the United States, you're invading. And it's like, oh yeah, let's invade them for their resources. I mean, for regime change. But the problem is that when you try to work at one day Elite 30 and you're drilling down, and this is the oil right here in this level. In order for you to get the results that you're looking for, the leveling up, this is where the oil is, the red line. Do not cross the red line. But you'll never get there if you're day 2 like this and you're working on the next fucking thing because you're shiny object syndrome motherfucker. You see that? You're drilling here. Why don't you fucking drill all the way down and keep focusing on that one fucking thing? It's like learning the right punch, you know? The right punch. You got to learn how to do it properly first. And to do it properly, you got to twist this foot on the back like you're, you know, turning a cigarette, right? You got to keep the both hands up here. And you got to make a fist. You got to put the thumb over this one. You got to hit with the first 2 knuckles. So it goes down. It's that simple. Boom. Right? And it comes back. Just punch him right in the face. And you can move forward and back. You can practice that right punch. It's always that fucking right punch. Why fucking complicate all that shit? Why just work on that one right punch? Maybe work at day 1 over and over until you drill for the fucking oil, until you hit the fucking oil. You see that? Hit the fucking oil. You guys are not hitting the fucking oil. You guys are not drilling down. Maybe day 2. This is where 16 hours. This is where the student in 1 week he got laid. You know what happened after he got laid? He banged a hot blonde. And he was getting a blowjob. In the pictures, his hand and her head's over here. So if you look at the testimonial, I had to find a way to hide him getting a blowjob because I can't post it on YouTube. But it's in the pictures. It's in the picture. So I got to figure out how can I censor that for the testimonials. Because my students have proof. And this guy was once like, he was listening to all these other tall white dating coaches using mystery method shit. And he tried to use it for Daygame and it didn't work. I'm not going to say who. Because he doesn't even want to mention it right now. So he wants me to censor that part of the testimonial. And that's fine. I can do it as a professional courtesy. However, he did RSD, all that shit, like most of these Reddit people. And you got no results. They're always into RSD and they're into low self-esteem, Asian masculinity bullshit. Asian masculinity bullshit. It's like they're trying to blame somebody else for their fucking problems by being Wuhan washed. They're making it harder on themselves. And they have no social skills. They call it acting lessons. It's not acting lessons. I took a chart of Asperger's syndrome, all the traits. And I built a system opposite to it, which became the Bible of natural game. Because real naturals look at it and they're like, holy shit, you codify everything that we're doing. That's correct. That's simple. Drill for oil. So you're saying that you can practice at home, Elite 30? Yes, motherfuckers. What the fuck? Why are you not practicing every single day in front of a mirror until you perfect it? What the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, it's like there's a COVID variant. Practice at home like a ninja and go out there and kill and get the fuck back home safely. Don't be a samurai saying, look at me, I got a big sword, I'm so cool. No. It's that simple. 16 hours a day. You can't do 16 hours, do 10. You can't do 10, do 3. Next day, do another 3. Make a 60-day challenge and go back to the weaknesses. You don't know what the weaknesses are if you don't use Skype. And that's another problem. Because the fucking know-it-alls, they never use their goddamn Skype. They think they know everything. The low self-esteem motherfuckers. the low self-esteem. They're always like the same fucking 4 traits all the time I have to deal with. And I'll talk about in the future. Number 1, delusional as fuck. They think they're know-it-alls. They know better than Johnny Elite. You don't know shit. You don't know shit. Number 2, they're like, and this relates to this. They're lazy fucking spam approachers with no skills, no caliber. They're lazy. Spam approach. Busyness is a form of laziness. I'll say this again. Busyness is a form of laziness. So they spam approach out there, SMVing it in a lazy way without working in drilling for oil. So how long do you practice Elite 30 for? How about you don't stop practicing Elite 30 until you become as good as me? You don't stop. It's not a 30-day challenge. It's a lifetime challenge because it takes a lifetime to master this, but 30 days gets you late very quickly. So how come this is getting them late for body language and social skills? The flow drill. Because it is never about the goddamn fucking game. Game is just an LMS, value delivery system. That's what they don't want to tell you. That's how they get you. They get you because they want you to vibe their SMV and they don't have body language, so they're kind of snaking backward. It's stuck. But they're already over the line of fuckability. But what can that do? Can that transfer to everyone? It's not really, because they don't have as many testimonials as me. That's why they love to vibe their SMV and they love to use game. That's why they call it game. Their social skills is not social skills. It is like a knockoff. It is a cheap imitation. It is a gamified version that sounds autistic as fuck. This is why the autistic students they like that kind of shit. So what's the trait number 3 of low self-esteem? It's called they always do it their way. They'll grab the steering wheel. Imagine that I was sitting next to them. Okay. Should I pick up, even I'm living with my parents, pull the car? You should pull the car. You should pull to the car. So basically, what's happening is, imagine you're over here, okay? I'm a driving instructor. And I'm driving. You're pressing the gas, okay? You spam approaching, you're pressing the gas. But what happens with trait number 3 of low self-esteem is that I should be the one doing the steering, right? I can help you here. You see that? You go here. Okay, this way. Move this way. I can help you a little bit. But what happens is that with low self-esteem, because you're delusional, you're a know-it-all, a sociopathic, autistic, delusional trait, you grab the fucking steering wheel and you love to drive into the ditch. You're like, oh, really? You wouldn't believe it. My students that are delusional, they always love to grab the steering wheel. For one of my students, for 15 times in a row, it's almost like this. Imagine this is an island, okay? Right over here. This is an island. And this is where they want to get to. That's their destination. But every single time I give them advice, like a life preserver, they don't grab onto it. They do it their way. It's not my path, it's the sociopath. So it's like right here. Imagine this is like a boat here, or a life preserver, or some shit floating device. But there's a bomb here. You see that? Like a big one. Okay? And it takes exactly 4 months. And it blows up over here. Boom! And you're like, what the fuck? And everything fails in our life. So you're saying for these low self-esteem motherfuckers, they can only go through 3 of these a year. So basically, if this is 4 months and it fails, and they're like, I'm sorry, John, I should have listened to you. On Elite Access, it's always like, was I right? And they're like, you were right as usual, John. I always hear this. You are 100% right. All the time. You are 100% right. But then why didn't you fucking listen? That's why I tell them. Why are you grabbing the steering wheel? Why are you steering to the ditch? And why are you holding on to the handbrake? Why are you resisting? So that's why I yell at them to release the handbrake. You get it? So they let me drive. They just have to press the gas. So they can get to their destination. But instead, this fucking bomb, boom, every single time. One guy lost all his fucking friends in the social circle because I told him exactly how to navigate it and get everyone to forgive him. But no, he had to do it his way. Or he says, oh, I got to do it this way. And then he lost all his fucking hair. It's like, what the fuck? Now it's growing back. Me and him, we're growing back our hair. You see that? I was fucking receding here, but it's grown back. It's like, what the fuck? I told him exactly what to do. Now he's like, John, you are so right. It's like everything's right. I told the Indian student, for example, that his wife because he got a wife out of my training, she had to go back to India because airport, Canada, they're banning all Indians from coming here because of the variant for a month. And what's happening is I told her to take zinc and vitamin D, which I talked about earlier in the video. And what happened was she took that because her uncle works in the hospital or owns the fucking hospital. She's fine. In 2 days, it's already like healing the pneumonia, the fluid in her lungs. So she'll be fine. I saved a lot of people's lives because he's spreading it everywhere. He's telling everyone, take vitamin D this much and this much zinc because John said so. It's working for his wife. He's telling all the family members. So this is what can happen to you guys. My students are Indians. If you don't dress like Johnny Elite, you could be the next Asians on the chopping block. They'll treat you just like they treat the Asians for the Wuhan flu. They're going to start to hate you too. They won't hate you that much because you didn't start COVID-19, but they can hate you too. So you got to be careful. You got to dress like Johnny Elite students. If you decided not to dress like my students, I don't know how to help you. When these stupid fucking cockfags, motherfuckers, are saying, oh, you should get your own fucking fashion and your own fucking hairstyle. Well, I say, fuck you. Because after I got 5 late fucking testimonials, these haters want to train with me again. It's like, can I train with you again one more time? I'm ready to learn. Dude, you fucking tried to destroy my business with fucking slander and lies. A complete fabricated hit piece over and over, month after month. I think now they're fine because before, when I kept posting testimonials, this motherfucker, troll, faceless fucking troll, will show up, get jealous because his life he's a fucking loser. And then all of a sudden, he gets angry at me. And it's like, they make a fucking excuse. I got attacked, John, because of this and that. They always say the same shit. The real reason you're attacking is because it's like a Ferrari. You're grabbing a keys and you're just scratching the fucking car. Just be real here. You're just jealous and envious. And then when he saw 5 fucking late testimonials of all the students dressed with the same haircut, the same pants, the same fucking fashion, everything, and he realized something. John was right. Now he wants to learn. Dude, you're so busy fucking slandering my name, saying Elite 30, some acting lessons. If an autistic person try to do acting lessons, he's going to act more autistic like an RSD victim, like RSD Tyler. That's exactly the problem. Stupid. It's not acting lessons. It's more like chiropractic lessons. It's more like readjusting everything so your social skills is aligned. That's what they don't understand. Fucking stupid. Like I said, the kind of shit I have to go through, fucking how fucking dare you? Like, this person asked me to train them again because they're ready to learn. Well, good for you. Well, fuck off. You fucking try to destroy my business and you think it's fine that you're ready to learn. I mean, fuck you. Go somewhere else. All right. These unteachable cases. And these are the new designation, the unteachable cases. There are students out there that are not teachable and changeable. Because Group A, the Navy SEALs, my students, they already all got laid. And they're taking a break from Daygame because they already got their lay-in. I'm going to post their lay testimonials. Group B, however, are unteachable. So the best way to understand it is, for example, easy cases is like a rabbit, okay? So let's draw a rabbit, okay? It's fast, rabbit. It's fast, right? It's like... And what's a hard case? It's like a turtle. So like a turtle. Okay. And they're going slower. But what the fuck is a unteachable case? It's like a snail. They move snail pace. They don't even change at all. They barely can change. They're so autistic. Every single time they try to learn a flow drill, this is what happens. And this is why I make fun of them by. It's the concept is called, every time they try to focus on one thing, because their brain, for the brain, there's 2 sides, right? Left and right, right here. And in the middle over here is what they call capsum corpusum, okay? Or whatever it's called. In the middle over there, basically what that means is it's an interconnection signal that's weak. So therefore the left and right brain, they don't really connect. They don't connect. So what's happening is every time they learn a new skill, it's going left, right, but it's weak. So every time they have a 3-step, for example, if they have a triangular drill for social skills, They cannot pick up the third step right here. They cannot. They can only get this one and this one. 1, 2. Number 3, no. See that? The third step is missing. So they get autistic because they try and focus on one step. So it's kind of like they're picking up a sword, but they drop the shield by accident. So now they're like, oh, I'm going to pick up the shield now, right? And the whole armor falls off. You're like, what the fuck? Is it really like that? Oh man, it's exactly like that. When they're Asperger's and autistic, now they put the armor back on. Guess what? They're focusing on something else. And the fucking sword drops. So I told in the elite access, you guys are no longer allowed to draw, like to run this into the fucking ground. Because they're grabbing the steering wheel and just fucking doing this. Because every single time they try to give me a quick sample of them practicing the drills and I get to critique it. Guess what happens? They don't fucking change. I nearly had a mental breakdown yesterday. There was like 7 or 8 students, all exactly the same. I was showing screenshots and audios to one of the students. Of course, I crossed out the faces of the other students. I was like, see, exactly like you. He's a know-it-all. He's learning slow. He sounds angry. So when they talk slower, right? You know what happens? When they talk slower, they sound angry. They're like, argh! And when they talk faster, they sound happy in beta, right? That's how they talk. Like they talk like this. They talk like, excuse me, I just have a quick question. I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And then they go slower and angry. They sound like this. And it's like, whoa, calm down, dude. Calm down. So it's like, where's the happy medium? Why can't you just talk normally, kind of like this? When you talk to women, like a confident person, and you can switch the tonality. So it doesn't sound angry, but it sounds happy, but at the right speed. But they have to go faster and get excited. And that's the problem. At the end of their sentence, guess what happens? There's a depression at the end. So it sounds like a sigh. So it's like, you know what's great? And you know what happens with women? They talk like this over and over for the 6 to 8 minutes. They sound angry at first, and then they sort of sigh. So hot. They get angry again. So, you know what's great? And she gets turned off. By the time they reach about here, they're already off the fucking line. They're wondering why the women's getting turned off, even if they're good looking and they're autistic. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're fucking autistic as shit. Their emotions are so fucked. That means if they slow down, they get angry. If they go fast, they go overly excited and beta and happy, up talking, and then sighing. You're like, holy shit, what kind of monsters are you teaching? Group B, you need to step up. Group B is like the bunch of misfits. Group B. The first time I ever met somebody in Group B, unteachable case, because during COVID-19, everyone's mindset is fucked. Everyone's mindset is so fucked. You wouldn't believe it. So much COVID. Every day is like death, death, death. Now Canada is having 4,000 fucking deaths a day or something like that. Or is that like 4,000 cases in BC? And then a certain amount of deaths. Every day is just death, 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 death. And I can see why people are afraid to spend money and to invest in coaching because they think it's a luxury. But you don't see it's not a luxury. This is a survival skill I'm teaching you right here. Skill like a ninja. Leveling up. There's no other way. Fuck being a samurai. Before COVID-19, you could be a samurai, SMVing it. Look at my big sword. Now you can't. So what's trait number 4? Trait number 4, they become cowards. At some point, they do it their way. And if it's like 3 explosions a year, and they keep doing it their way because they can't stop resisting, guess what? If it's 4 months, 4, 8, 12 months, then the explosion happens. Then it's game over. And this keeps happening over and over and over again. And that's what's really annoying. So that means they lose a year of their life. Most of their 20s, right? It's just them losing year after year after year after year. So this, what happens to them is that that's the really annoying thing. So, all right. Hope that makes sense. Because that's what I want to say. I'll be talking about that in the future. Should I try to pick up even a living with my parents? Yeah, of course. I pull it to the car. I already answered that. So, but basically, I think that's just what I want to cover. Is there any questions? Any final questions before I press end stream? Thank you for all the likes. And I know you guys are going through hell, but I want you to treat these skills I'm teaching you from Elite 30, these skills from Kaizen, from Playbook. These skills, work. They work. How come my system works? My old system for COVID-19. How come? Nobody would have predicted. Because I don't teach what they teach. They don't understand what I teach. It doesn't make any sense to them. How come their system doesn't work? That's a good question. How come their day game system does not work? Because it doesn't work, it's confusing. And then you try to take a boot camp. That's where all the money is. But it doesn't work. Their products don't work. It's confusing. So if they're releasing new products, why even fucking buy it? It's not going to work. It's just going to funnel you into a boot camp, confuse you on purpose in a Machiavellian way. Then what happens is that, you waste all your money and you think, oh, you're broken, so you got to take a 6-month program, then you funnel to a fucking boot camp. That's how they get you. I can get you guys laid without a boot camp. Every single program I teach has laid testimonials. EB Access, Kaizen, 3MP, Tech Scheme for Minorities, Skype, infill analysis, everything. Products. Holy shit. Everything. It's ridiculous. And some of these things, like body language and text game for minor, it's not even related to game. How does it get them laid? Because my game is that calibrated. I field tested every fucking system. I learned from the naturals. I've been in game for so long. They don't discard because they're so in love with their own game. It's like they love to smell their own farts. They just so love it because their opinions is facts. That's why they can't delete anything. This is why you're all stuck, because it's opinions as facts. Can you explain the difference between social skills and social calibrations? That is a wonderful question. For example, social skills is the skills that it's the social lubricant when you're talking to people. Everyone you have to talk to in a different way. If you're talking to somebody as like a family, you might sound a lot nicer. If you're talking with your girlfriend, you'll be like, you'll be a lot nicer and stuff like that, right? And then when you talk to somebody you don't like, you might be more like, it's great. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. When you talk to other people, so that's the first thing, is that tonality will have to match the situation. It's not just the same aspy tonality. Second of all, social skills does not have to be very important sounding stuff like we're talking. It can be like, hey, bro, what's up? And it's like, yo, what's up? So it's a greeting. You always have to greet the person first. Hey, what's up? So social skills, greeting, and then it becomes comments, open questions. You'd be like, yeah, man, COVID's fucked up, isn't it? And they're like, yeah, bro, I hear you. You heard about the Indian variant? Yeah, man, I heard about it. It's so, man, I just wish things are a lot better in India. Yeah, I know, man. So how about you? How's business going? The same. Oh, it's a little bit tough during COVID. It's like the same for everyone. Just been smoking weed. And I was like, yeah, bro, I hear you. But why the fuck are people talking like that? This is what they call small talk in social skills. Small talk is big talk. Small talk is big talk. You're like, what the fuck? How come it's big talk? That's how people communicate. You ever wonder why all these people out there who are Caucasian, and they're more expressive than you, when they talk, their faces move more, their tonality hits more notes and stuff. They talk like this, almost like TV show Friends. Yeah, bro. What are you going to do next week? I don't know. Everything's locked down. You want to hang out sometime? I can't because, I'm going to get fined and stuff. No, man, don't worry. I promise you will not get fined. I get fined, then I'll take care of it. Really? Yeah, we can smoke some weed and shoot the shit and, maybe go fishing or something like that. They can't fine us. Yeah, bro, I'm down. It's like, for shizzle. Let's go. So, and when you're free, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Cool. But the thing is that it builds rapport. You see that? When you talk in small talk, you're trying to build a trust meter that you want to hang around, because it's saying that I'm cool with you and you fit into my tribe. So everyone has a hierarchy. That's social skills. And for Asians, it's very hard because they're monotone when they talk, and they're autistic and they talk like a beta aspie fuck. They don't know anything about social skills. They got socio skills at PUAs. This is hard for them to talk like that. Because they feel awkward. That kind of skill is really, really hard to learn. You have to be talking to so many different types of people. And that's why the naturals, they like to talk to men and women just to warm up. not warm up, but to sharpen the samurai sword. They sharpen it by doing that. Even having female friends can help you sharpen your saw faster and get more comfortable. And that's what you don't realize. Okay? Most people are like, no, because that's beta. You can use her friends for what? No, fuck that. Use her to feel more comfortable around other women. And when you're more comfortable and you can work on your social skills and calibrate your tonality, it becomes easier. Does that make sense? And you're like, that's social skills. Social calibrations is the body language. For example, if I were standing like this and talking to you, hey, you're cute, I want to come by and say hi. You're gonna feel cortisol. Your system is gonna be full of the fight, flight, and freeze response. Okay. But if I stand, for example, this calibrate this way, and I talk like this, right? Excuse me, I have a quick question. Just like you saw in that video of my biography. Doesn't that seem like a lot more friendly when you talk like this around the women? And when the back is more out, kind of like when it's pushed out here and the chest is out, don't you see that's more confident? So this calibrations is almost like, imagine she has a value system, like a Terminator, like I said in that biography in 2018. She could scan your value by the way you stand, by the way you talk, right? Now it's a more happy, fun, carefree vibe. And you're not stressing her out. Now you're more relaxed when you're talking. You become more calibrated. You got facial expressions. You see that? So when I talk in Daygame, I'm actually hitting a lot of congruency in my facial expressions. And I can still hit all the social skills notes, not moving the head too much. You see that? Be more calibrated. Hand gestures, but not like this. It's not like a fucking robot. It's more like congruency. So when I talk, I'm much more congruent to what I'm saying. That's why it's so important that when I've noticed about you was that and everything, it's almost like you have a neck brace. And that's what social calibrations is. It's really hard to do. And not moving the body too much and not hunching. They always hunch in their infields and they always look like ET. That's why they need to tease and flirt a lot because the women will think it's platonic because they're not in the very calibrated Elite 30 body language. They don't know what I teach. They have no fucking clue why it works. But then I figure out 30 pieces, the first principles of what's the opposite to Asperger's syndrome. And then that's why the students, they kept getting laid. When I first made Elite 30, I could not believe the students just kept getting laid one after another. I was like, wait a minute. How come social skills and social calibration is more important? And that's the thing you guys don't understand. Because before COVID-19 and 2019 and before, this was going to give you 2.5 points. That was enough. But after 2020, 2021, that's not enough points. It's not enough points. Now you need to attack the heft right here. You need a minimum to get 5 out of 10. But that's not even game. That's excluding game. That means you don't need game because now here they take ashwagandha to reduce their cortisol, to have emotional control. Not emotional impact, not vibing their SMV. Emotional control. You guys get it now. Is it clicking? Is it clicking? Ashwagandha automatically makes you more chilled. Therefore, less cortisol, less fight, flight, and freeze response. Automatically increasing this point right here. Look at that. Right here. It's like a Tetris. That's already 7.5 out of 10. You can beat any other dating coach with these three. But if you focus on these two first, attack the first. The opposite. Don't you get it? Attack the half. Win half the fucking battle. When you win half the battle, again with ashwagandha, you can kill any fucking dating coach out there. Why do you think my students are exceeding the dating coach's results? Because they attack the half. And then they reduce the fucking cortisol for these autistic students. And whatever little game that they use, guess what? They don't need as much game. Look at the other way. You focus all on game, right? And you have this gamified social skills, gamified body language, gamified vibing. It's not even real game. It's not even real skills. This takes time like a ninja to learn. The samurais have no fucking clue. Their sword is their value delivery system. It's like a fire hose for the LMS. They're wasting their fucking time. You're saying more game. There's games every... No, it's not. Most naturals I know from the inner circle, guess what? They attack these three first. Everyone has a different game in the inner circle because everyone has a different height. Everyone has a different race. Everyone has a different circumstance, a different age. So their game has to be different. And my game is more transferable. If the elite playbook is working during COVID-19 and they're saying, oh yeah, I got similarities in what, a few fucking lines? Fuck the lines. I don't even talk with lines. My students don't use lines. They use the algorithms. Creative and artistic. So if creative is X, artistic is Y, and Z equals are you an artist, then fuck that. Move the fucking creative part. You look like you are chilled and wearing yoga pants. Are you into yoga? So you have a million different openers, which is more natural. And I invented that, adaptive openers. I improved every aspect of this game. So this is like, it's all indirect now. You start with indirect first and you switch over to adaptive. So that way they'll stay. And oh, by the way, right? I know we should be social distancing. And then lastly, then you talk about the elephant in the room. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. One second. Okay. Is this making sense, guys? Does that answer the question fully? That's what social that means if you get elite 30, you practice at home, you can attack the top half. It's that simple. You can attack the top half. And then you can focus on ashwagandha to have emotional control, more chill like a natural. And then lastly is the game. That means the playbook is the last thing you work on. And the best way to understand this is, what's the difference between social calibrations? Let's use the same example for the oil. They just fucking move on shit. The best way to understand what's the difference between the elite 30 and elite playbook. That's a good question. Let's just answer it. Let's go further than just social skills and social calibrations. So let's say this is a foundation. You're digging down here. You see that? Okay. Once you're digging down, then you are building a foundation. So when they're building a building, they have all these steel beams. You see that? But they're digging downwards. So the more you can dig down during the 30-day challenge, like the other Middle Eastern student practicing 16 hours a day, then you can build up. You see that? The building can build up. Now you build all these steel beams. This is elite playbook. You see that? Start building across, electrical wiring, and you start putting the building materials on the outside, all the windows. Are you starting to get it? You can't build upwards unless you build downwards. That's what they don't understand because they don't know what I teach. This is almost like boxing. It's like Mayweather. It's like defense. He's always like slipping by every single punch, right? You can't even hit him. He blocks up here or he blocks down here. And all the punches just go right by him and he hits you back. That means he's attack proof. He's attack proof. So what happens is when he's attack proof, it's just like you're rejection proof. When you're out there doing Daygame, you're rejection proof. Women cannot actually reject you. That's why she's on the line. When you have the right body language, you tease at the right times, you flirt at the right times, she's on the line. That means they call it a 10% numbers game bullshit. It is not a 10%. It's keeping her on the line. And without autism, without delusions, then you can see when you're supposed to be flirting and when you're supposed to be teasing to keep her on the line. Don't you get it? Because it's a boxing match. That's what they don't understand. You got to build down first. They don't have body language. They just walk up to her, try to make good eye contact, and try to pretend to be like their vibe. Because the Tinder lays or something like that, it helps their vibe. It's kind of like if you're fucking your sister over and over, kind of like you're living in the South. I know it sounds fucked up, right? It's not to stereotype them, but hypothetically, let's say you were Ben Chode, right? That's an Indian word for a sister fucker. And then the more you bang your sister, the more you feel like relaxed and your body language changes. And that's what's happening. And then they're tall and stuff and they just SMVing it. I don't have a sister. I say hypothetically. Okay. I'm talking about shit like that. Hypothetically. So it's correcting the vibe. So what's happening is that they're just vibing their SMV. But that's not transferable. That's all they're doing. Just being more comfortable, less needy. But that's not transferable. That's only 2.5 points for the emotional part. A little bit of body language. They don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, that's a fucked up way of saying it. But build down, elite 30 first. In my Indian and Asian students, they usually focus only on elite 30. They're not allowed to use a playbook, even if they have the bundle. They focus here first. So once they do all this stuff, they spend like a whole month or two. Then I say you're allowed to switch over. Then you can build up. So it's like a defense, and the playbook is the offense. And the problem with the game is that they're using offense and they're vibing the SMV. So every time they flirt, right? They do a hook punch. Every time they flirt, they're saying like value. Get it? Right? Uppercut, touch, value. Right? Right cross. Right? Punch, tease, value. That's all they're doing. Value, gamified. It's not even a proper punch. It's like this. It's like an imitation punch. And the jab should be playing down like this, right? But instead they're doing imitation punch like this. Like a stupid Wing Chun punch. You get it? Value. Check out my value. My value. They just keep doing value. They keep going on the offense. They keep doing combinations. They don't even have defense. They don't have a way of behaving in such a way that's very calibrated. That's part of the evolutionary tribe. So therefore, they sort of have to keep flirting and teasing nonstop. And if they're using romantic sexual shit, it's because they fit into a boyfriend frame. That's all they're doing. They're just vibing on, falling in love with you. You don't have to do that. You can just sexualize it, bang her, keep banging her. She'll turn to your girlfriend. It's that simple. Women will start to get emotional, and the more you bang her during that week, she's automatically the student's girlfriend. It's that simple. So why the fuck we need romance, which crushes or destroys future testimonials, eliminating them, because it's a low probability move that only can filter out students that have more SMV that fits into a boyfriend girlfriend frame. But my students are getting some of the hottest girlfriends. You look at my Middle Eastern student, the tall guy, he had a model girlfriend. You look at the tall London student, he had a model girlfriend. What the fuck? Lots of students have girlfriends. It has nothing to do with your game. It has to do with your height, and it has to do with your social skills, and it has to do with your value. You know, it's that simple. You get automatic girlfriends by being certain ethnicity and certain heights, automatically. If you're more valuable than her, and you don't have to be good looking either. It's all height and race. And for the shorter students, well, like I said, unless you're super good looking like the other Vietnamese guy with the blonde hair, that looks better than I am, even though I'm decent looking, then they'll stick around to being fuck buddies, but not as girlfriends. But it all depends. Or maybe it's the same ethnicity, Asian girlfriend. Or maybe it's like this and that. You have a high status. So it depends on where you live. It depends on your height. It depends on your looks. It depends on many factors. If you're higher value than her, then she'll stay. That means, oh, it's a personality. They'll tell you some bullshit. It's their personality or some shit to keep the girlfriend. No, they're just a tall, black-looking guy with big muscles. It's like, that's why they're staying. It's that simple. It's a pre-selected. Protector status, tall, white, automatically she just stays. You know, I have a student so sadistic, so psychopathic, who fucked me over for $2.2 million I made him in a contract that we're supposed to split in half. Even on Tom sales and everything, he won fucking 3 Toastmasters public speaking competition. Still fucked me over. He has a fiance. I'm not sure if they're married by now. That's a year ago. Or maybe they broke up. I don't know. But regardless, I got him everything. And she stays with him no matter how sadistic he is, because he's higher value. He's good looking. He's tall. He's Asian. He has muscles. And he has height and looks. It's that simple. This whole thing is like a perfect formula. How you approach man to women? How you approach in a city like San Francisco? How you approach man to women? Well, the thing is, sometimes the body language, the nonverbal communications. So if we're talking about calibrated body language, for example, if you know that standing up straight standing 45 and using hand gestures and being congruent and facial expressions and tonality, happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe, and being chilled, right? And that's very hard to do consistently like this, and talking with her, and then chin up, neck not moving, all that stuff. It takes so much practice. It takes 30 days to fix this shit. If you know that's the opposite, right? What's the opposite that's not man to women? That's a better question. Hunching is not man to women. As soon as you hunch, guess what happens? Now it becomes a platonic conversation. You see that? You're not moving your hands. Now it becomes a platonic conversation. Hands in the pocket. See that? Not moving facial expressions. Right? Now it becomes creepy. Now it's not like a happy, fun, carefree vibe. It's like an Asian vibe. Hi. Oh, you're cute. I want to come by and say hi. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Validation is not man to women. That's like lowering your value. Every time you say, whoa, wow, cool. I love that about you. Blah, blah. You're lowering your fucking value. You're raising hers. Whoever says that women want validation, that's bullshit. None of my students are allowed to give validation. That's not man to women. An alpha male will not be complimenting a woman. They will not. It just doesn't make any sense from an evolutionary standpoint for Daygame. So the only way that would possibly work is if you got like a high value lifestyle Instagram. But if you don't have that, I think it's better Daygame without it. Then when you take that away, then you can make adaptations. But you will never give validation. You will never go direct. You will never compliment her or kiss her ass, because you'll know you'll get rejected every time because there's no crutch. And that's why I recommend. And then you can bring back the Instagram if it's really good later on once you make the adaptations. But that's not meant to women. That's what I'm just saying. But if you're overdoing it, you overly sticking on your chest, you're overconfident, that can also turn off women if you're trying too hard. That's not meant to women. That's beta as fuck. That's another thing. You don't want to try too hard. You want to talk to her normally. And that's the hard thing to do, because you're always so fazed by women because you're like, oh, she's so attractive, John. These are just makeup techniques. Have you ever seen women without their makeup? Have you ever seen it? Oh, you ever seen celebrities without their makeup? It's like, what the fuck happened to your face? That's what women really looks like without makeup. So never get fazed by women's makeup techniques. It's like a Photoshop for the face. Don't you get it? That's man to woman versus calibrated versus not calibrated. You need Elite 30 from hard case to hero. You should get it. So how are you approaching a city like San Francisco? Well, San Francisco is a little bit harder, but I did have a student from San Francisco, and he was an Asian guy. I think he got like 10 lays or something in Europe. I met him in Poland. He was from San Francisco, I believe. He went over to Europe. He's a good-looking guy, better looking than me. But he got slaughtered in San Francisco. A lot of approaches. That's why he was in Europe. So for him, social skills is very important in San Francisco. That's what I recommend. Social skills and social calibrations. Fuck the game. You won't go very far in San Francisco. It's a little bit harder there. So social skills are dying. And that was before the pandemic. Now during pandemic, you better have double with a social skill. And the only way you can learn the social skills flow drills from Elite 30 with Elite Access. You know, you can't get Elite Access without Elite 30. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because my students, they do the social skills flow drill, and some of the autistic students have done it for more than 3 months and they haven't cracked it. That means most dating coaches who are autistic as shit have not cracked it. And the only reason how I cracked it was learning from my Pakistani mentor. He was so good at it. He was changing his tonality towards everyone. I was like, holy shit. And he was able to small talk like that. And women were into him because he talked to them like a normal person, but he had a calibrated body language. I remember daygaming with him, and he was much faster than I was. He had a faster processor. He was able to finish her sentences. It's kind of like Bruce Lee interrupting her. It's kind of like the intercepting fist, Jeet Kune Do, which I don't believe in. But no matter what, it's just like everything she says, he's already intercepted it. I was like, holy shit, how do you do that? And he told me what he does at nighttime to prepare his brain to be wittier. And the people that said, oh, that witty is just making you a clown or something like that. No, you have no idea. Humor at the right times can really skyrocket your game. When people would say stuff like, oh no, value just makes you try and be witty, you try and be a comedian, you're gonna be a clown. No, that's complete nonsense. These people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But it's hard to do that. You need a fast processing speed because naturals can do that. They can come up with stuff on the spot. Yeah, I need to learn to know how to give much value, but no, fuck push-pull techniques. You don't understand. Okay, when I'm talking about gaming tactics, you see that? You have no fucking social skills. You're talking about gaming fucking tactics. Do I do a push-pull here or do a little bit of a tease? Fuck these tactics. Don't you get it? Okay, I'm going to spell it out for you. Everything is evolutionary psychology, okay? It's like everything's evolutionary psychology. It's like, John, don't stand so close to the fucking camera, okay? The reason why it's evolutionary psychology is because women need to procreate. So all the autistic people back then in the caveman days, they did not procreate because they lack social intelligence. They're part of the out tribe. So I'm going to make it very clear. When you do push-pull and you do all these gaming shit, just like COVID-19, you're going to get rejected. You're going to be part of the out tribe. This is why in Vancouver, right? Most of the people in Vancouver, all the RSD victims, the Asians and the RSD victims, you know what happened to them? I'll tell you the truth, okay? They all quit. They all are going to technical school for engineering. They all quit the game. See, my hair's growing back. It's great. They all quit the game, and guess what happened? They're trying to get in a social circle to get a girlfriend that's below their look scale by learning social skills. And if they cannot do that, they'll go to Thailand, and they'll spend the rest of their life there. This is the RSD victims' fucking endgame. It's game over. It's death. 6 to 8 years like this, guys. 6 to 8 years. And this is what you can hope for. A slow death in living in Thailand. So stop with this fucking gaming shit. You know, this RSD Tyler autistic shit. It's not going to work during COVID-19. They all quit. Now the people have social skills out there copying my fucking tactics. I'm not sure if they're using Elite 30 out there or copying my tactics. Now they're doing Insta dates and using social skills, number closing, and then closing that way. They're copying my tactics. But this new breed of day gamers out there are replacing the old. The RSD victims are dead. So it's all evolutionary psychology. You need social skills to navigate the tribe. You need to be relaxed, not like RSD Tyler, just being out tribe. He's not alpha. And the body language that is calibrated, social calibrations, is what makes you the alpha male. Are you guys starting to get it? It's like a light bulb just went off, isn't it? It's like, holy shit. So you're saying that with the right body language, you become the alpha male. That's correct. This is how my students do it. And the social skills keep them in the tribe. That's correct. And they don't work out and like pumping steroids and shit. You're not allowed. You'd be kicked out of my coaching. They work on the V-shaped shoulders. And my students are getting so big in 3 weeks. They're getting much bigger using my workout programs without steroids. You're not allowed steroids in my program. You'll be kicked out. And the dating coaches who use steroids, if they're talking about, oh yeah, I got results from this and that, guess what? It's disqualified because you're using steroids. You're cheating the fucking process. And you're saying that, you know, all this stuff does not matter for value. You're using steroids. Shut the fuck up. You have nothing to offer the world. You're using steroids. You're a lazy fucking asshole. You have no fucking game. You just fucking protector status. You see that? So if his muscles is protector status, you understand that? Richard Casanova, it's all fucking muscles because you need to protect the women in the family that you're going to have from a saber-toothed tiger. You understand that? Let me speak close to the camera because you got to protect them from a saber-toothed tiger in case they'll kill your fucking family. So therefore, you need a little bit of strength. That's what makes you attractive. Does that make sense now? And there are pre-selected races out there. If women are into them, they're pre-selected, then more women wants to be with them. It's all evolutionary psychology, guys. It has nothing to do with all this half-truth pill, right? They always ignore the height. They don't tell you the truth about the perceived natural status. It's all fucking gaslighting bullshit where they're fucking you up. So if it's all evolutionary psychology, you can see why Instagram makes a lot of fucking sense. Because the Instagram is showing that you have higher status. That means you're a higher member of the tribe. That means when she's with you, she can raise her status in the tribe. Don't you understand? So all this day game. So why does John dress like a rich? Or why does he have watches that make him look rich? Right? Why is he dressed like a fucking whitewashed? Don't you get it? Because I want to fit in the fucking tribe, so I don't be part of the out tribe like the Wuhan wash motherfuckers out there who basically are getting beaten up, the Asians or Asian wash, and they don't fucking get it. Say find your own fashion. No, unless they're pumping steroids and they're telling people advice. These fucking haters pumping steroids, are stealing it, and they're telling people that this is how the game works. No, dress whitewashed. You understand? You're Asian, you're Indian. My Asian Indian friends during COVID-19 could literally walk into a KKK rally and still make friends with everyone because they're dressed whitewashed. It's that simple. But nobody wants to listen. It's like, nobody wants to fucking listen to this. It's like, what the fuck? It's that simple. It's like, oh no, it's not about fashion. It's not about dressing rich because women will use you for your money. Well, let me tell you something. My Pakistani mentor has a $3 million mansion. You don't think women likes a big fucking place? But they'll use you for your money. Do you think he spends a single dollar on women? No, they just come on over, he bangs them, and he tells them that he's too busy because he's a player. A player. Right? Natty game, exactly. So fuck this whole gamey shit. Because during COVID-19 and the lockdowns and stuff, you can see it no longer works. So if you try to buy more gamey products, how come their gamey products did not work before COVID-19? The building that's building up. Why do they have to build a new product? Because my products already work. Why do I have to build new ones? They already work. They are the vaccines. They are the final solution. They're already the final solution. Why do I have to build new products? Why? They already work. Because you have this fear of missing out, this FOMO, as they call it. FOMO, F-O-M-O, fear of missing out. Because you think, oh, maybe I'll get that fucking tactic, that new push-pull tactic. Then fuck the tactics. Learn the fucking skills to fit in the tribe. Social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. See, people are dropping off because they are looking for new products because you have low self-esteem. If the stuff I teach already works and I have the most testimonials and I got it right the first time, then what the fuck are you doing? Oh, you're one of those FOMO fags, right? John, don't say fag, right? Because you're going to get canceled again. I get canceled like twice a week these days. I don't even give a fuck anymore. It's like, not that I'm against those kind of people. They can do whatever they want. I have nothing but respect for them. But don't be a fucking FOMO fag. Seriously. Like, I'm a loose cannon. I don't wear a mask. I just say whatever's on my mind. If I get canceled for it, great. But I say that with all due respect. Don't be a FOMO, The arrow analogy, that's not the most important thing right now. The most important thing right now is that it's all evolutionary psychology. So being whitewashed makes your life easier. It's that simple. Just be whitewashed. What kind of ping text do you send? I just put ... question mark, right? Something like that. Other times, I'll be writing like, hey, I have to go to this concert at this whatever. I got an extra ticket for you. And this, I'll write something like, oh shit, I was texting another girl. Never mind, but I would like to take you to the next concert, right? Right? We should hang out sometime and then try to get her back on the line. That's one thing you can do. So you can use the same algorithm. You accidentally text her something else, pretend to text another woman. Like, holy fuck, you better wear this sexy lingerie tonight, or I'm gonna fuck your brain, or I'm not gonna fuck your brains out. And so, oh, sorry, that was for Sarah. Anyways, we should probably meet sometime. Like, we should hang out as friends, whatever. Get her back up, and she'd be like, holy shit, you see that? That's one way of doing it. These are secret tactics that you never heard of from the inner circle. They have all sorts of weird tactics like that to get her back on the line. So do something that completely surprises her. Pretend as somebody else. She's like, oh, maybe you're talking to the wrong person. Oh, I remember you. And then you text her, hey, we should hang out sometime. You see what I mean? Get another chance. You get another chance. But these days, you can always just, hey, add me on Instagram. And if your Instagram is good, the students that I teach Instagram, they have 6 algorithms. 6. Most guys only have 2, lifestyle in pre-selection. That's why they say some stupid shit like, oh yeah, because women can pick out the one thing they don't like about you. Yeah, because you have 2 fucking algorithms, you dumb fuck. My student who learned from these people for the text game, but they also use my Instagram algorithm, got so many lays in a row in a short amount of time, like 59 lays. One of my Asian students, he was the first one to learn it from the boot camp, my 6 algorithms. So it creates a conversion. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, light switch, click on. Yes, conversion. So the whole idea is that women can look at one thing, but she cannot defeat 6 algorithms. Her mind cannot, because it already says yes, a conversion mechanism. So it's not 10%. Bullshit. It's bullshit. I'll show you in the future infields when I text the women and they come out the very first time. Creating conversion for text game with skills. I'm not sure I'm going to show all the text, but I should. You guys don't understand how the game really works. It's keeping her on the line. You can text in such a way that's so intriguing, like my Pakistani mentor. And he texts over and over. He doesn't even ask her out. She begs later on to come out. He sexualizes it. And he tells her not to wear any sort of underwear. Unless she cannot wear underwear. And she's just begging to meet him. And that's when she come on over and fucks. But this is top secret. But they say, get her out as fast as possible. That's some Tinder shit. No, it's fucking Tinder shit's different than Daygame. Tinder is stupid. Tinder is not even game. It doesn't even count as your lay count. So it's like, oh, yeah, if you take away their Tinder lay counts, they only got 400 lays or something. Well, congratulations. That's your real fucking lay count. 400. Stupid. It's like, oh yeah, let's buy some food from a food app, right? Like DoorDash, and oh, it's just like Tinder, right? Just ordering food, and 95% of their testimonials are all white, 2 blacks, 1 token Asian, unless they have more, unless they show it. I don't know it. More, and then that's exactly it. It's like 95% white. So it's like, oh, they got 100 lasers. That doesn't even count. They're white. So white is right. If they're getting that kind of results, is because their race matters. If we're counting their goddamn fucking Tinder lays, what about the fucking blue pill, huh? The blue pill people. The blue pill people have more lays than these fucking dating coaches and these fucking Tinder people, these students. A white person with good social skills, good lifestyle, that's tall and strong, he'll get unlimited fucking lays, nonstop, without any game whatsoever. Keep that in mind. Does that count as a lay count? No. Maybe it's a lay, but is this count lay count for pickup? It's not pickup. Fucking stupid. They set the bar so fucking low. That's all I say. Anything else? Any more questions before I go? Today I was not going to be here. I was so tired. I just keep passing out. May answer one more question, but these are some good questions. Maybe I'll be here more often. Sorry I was away, guys, because my laptop, it broke. My laptop got fucked up. This is a smaller laptop. This is a 15-inch laptop. So this one is a faster laptop. This one has a faster video card, a GTX 3060 with an i7 processor. There's only a quad core, so video editing is not as fast. But however, it's very powerful, and a 16 gigs of RAM. And it has but the color is not perfect, the RGB gamut. So therefore, when I post advice videos, I don't know if it's accurate or not. When I look on the phone, it's a little bit reddish. So, but still, there's no webcam up here in this thing. The old laptop was too big. It was 17 inches. But when I carry it in Europe and stuff, it hurt my back. It's like a big workout. This is a Asus. This is a TUF, tough. How to be more assertive. Okay, that's a good question. I think this is going to be the last question. So we'll talk in terms of evolutionary psychology. Because number one, you don't give a fuck what the woman thinks. You're like, wait a minute. You always care what the women think, don't you? Because you're worried about saying the wrong things and you're going to lose her. John, stop talking in front of the camera like that. You think you're going to fucking lose her, right? So when she's gone because you say the wrong things like a job interview, you worry about you're going to offend her. You need to have the willingness to walk away. You're like, most people are giving validation. They're kissing her ass. They're not going to walk away. Dude, you have to tease her so hard sometimes and not give a fuck that she has a vagina and her makeup techniques. And you don't give a fuck. You are more important in the relationship than she is. By having these two mindsets, that you don't give a fuck what she thinks, you're willing to walk, and you're more important than she is in this interaction, you solve the problem. That's the alpha behavior of the alpha male in the fucking tribe. You understand that? It's evolutionary psychology. And that's what you guys don't understand. It's all evolutionary psychology. Don't you guys get it? Evolutionary psychology. That means this whole game and this push-pull and all this shit, fuck the game tactics, fuck the lines, fuck all this shit. It's behavioral game. Behavioral game is the future in social skills. The other people, they're not going to get any fucking COVID-19 late testimonials. Okay, sorry about that. But they're not going to get any COVID-19 late testimonials. I'm going to sweep up the whole fucking thing. Lockdown number 1, I already locked it down. Number 2, locked it down. Number 3, locked it down. COVID, like lockdown number 4, guess what? My students are still going to get laid. Their students are not going to get laid because COVID-19 is a stress test. The only thing that works now is indirect to adaptive openers, statements of empathy, and calling out the elephant in the room, and social skills. 6 to 8 minutes walk. Behavioral game. Fuck all this autistic RSD shit. They all quit. They all quit and they're suicidal. Some of them want to kill themselves. They're so depressed. They want to kill themselves. But they're back in tech school now. And they're just waiting to go to Thailand in the future. That's their fate. Or hopefully in a social circle. They should learn social skills in the first place. That's all you can hope for. But yeah, that answers your question. Willingness to walk away. And that's the most alpha behavior because no guy's ever treated her like that. It's not some fucking theory. Sometimes I'm so aggressive with women. I'm so aggressive. Before I got that laid pull 2 blondes and fuck one in the bathroom before they strike my fucking video. That's why I wrote 2 strikes one. Because there's like, you know, me fucking her in the video. I have to cut that out. So having said that, before that, there was a Brazilian chick, and she was giving me attitude because Brazilians, they love tall and strong. They love tall and strong protector status because they have huge asses and you need a big guy with protector status. That's how you get Brazilians. I was a short, skinny Asian. They weren't into that, but I use Brazilian women. I'm not saying as like metaphorically speaking, in the like punching bags to practice your teases. It's not just goddamn teasing, push pull. It's more like aggressively ripping her apart. It's like a cunt punch, a low blow. It's not like saying, "Oh, I hate women." No, it's not that. You need to practice the behavior of being willing to walk away and be willing that you're more important than she is. Eventually, she started respecting me after 5 minutes of just ripping her apart. Then she respected me, and then she sort of like left again. But the point is that you can use that to practice. You can find the women, that type, the ethnicity that never responds to you. For some people, it could be Middle Eastern. For some people, it can be Latinas. For me, even though I banged a Latina, now it's in my infield. Look at my blog. But the thing is that they're usually my kryptonite because I don't have the protector status. They got big hips and stuff like that. They need a guy with big shoulders and big V-shaped back. They need value. They need protector status to feel safe. Latinas need tall. They need more tall. They need more fucking bulk. Tall, bulk, tall. As much bulk and tall as humanly possible. I need to take a trip to Brazil. Go for it. Watch out for the variant. But they need more bulk, tall, bulk. That's Latinas. And they usually are more into my 5'11" Asian students. Whenever they're 5'11", the Latina has no prejudice towards the student because it's protector status. You're like, holy shit, that's right. So the more tall you have as Asians, if you're tall, you're good looking, and you're strong, and you're Asian, you'll get the Latina easily from Daygame. It's that simple. And you got to close. Same day late, or she's going to flake on you because they're only after bulk, height, value, muscles, big. Looks. Just like my Indian best friend, he was in the last video. His girlfriend's Latina. He's 6 foot tall. He was very buff before. And yeah, bulk, tall, looks, bulk, height, bulk. That's what Brazilians want. So if you can find a type that doesn't respond to you, for example, over here, right? Of course it's so easy for you because you're big and tall. How can you deal with other competition of other men in Daygame? I have no competition. You beat the show with them by being a ninja, you practice, and you completely close right away. There is no competition. Close on the first approach. And how you do that? Practice 50 fucking times in the mirror a day. You beat 30. You'll kill them all. Like John Wick. You'll kill them all. There is no competition. You'll fucking, like, it'll be comical. They'll be like the goddamn autistic POAs. They're the out tribe. That's how you beat them. By being an in tribe. The alpha male. The one who's willing to walk away. There is no competition. You just strike like a ninja. You're on your mission and you close. It's like, oh yeah, but they show rejection infields. I don't get rejected on the first approach because I practice so many times at home. No mistakes practice. Maybe after that one, then I can get the second one. It's a rejection or a third. Because my mindset's fucked up. I don't get rejected on the first one. Rarely. So I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I mean, cock block while Daygame. I don't get cock block while Daygame. Most people are afraid of me in real life. I'm pretty intimidating. So even the guys who are like 6'5" and stuff, they walk by me, they walk around me. So I don't know what kind of vibe I give, but I'm in real life, I'm very confident, very intimidating. So even when I walk downtown, everyone walks around me. I don't know why they do that, but I know I'm very short and stuff, but most people don't fuck with me. And sometimes in the boot camp, when people do try to fuck with me, and everybody's been rejected. Well, not on my first approach. So I don't know what you're talking about because I close right in front of the boot camp students over and over, as you can see in the boot camp clips and even in the infields. So I don't know what you're talking about. But that's just their theories. This is not unheard of. There are people out there who can close on the first approach. I'm not the only one. There's a few people in the world that can do it. So adaptive openness in game is a game changer. In indirect DHV stories is a game changer. It's not like a long fucking DHV story. And also indirect flirts is a game changer too. So you said you do yoga. Are you a flexible person? Because you lead the mind. You ask the question, you lead the mind. It's like high ticket sales. You know how you ask a question? So if you were to go to my competitors, won't you save a lot more money from buying my products? You lead the mind. You see that? With the right questions, indirectly you can flirt. That's another game changer. Everything I teach is a game changer. I don't teach what they teach. Behavioral game, willingness to walk is a game changer. Everything's a game changer. Fuck the game. You keep thinking game. Think behavioral game, behavioral tactics, behavioral skills. Fuck the game. The biggest game changer is skills. Skills raise your value. Social skills is the biggest game changer. Social skills is unlimited. Let me ask you a question, okay? Let me get close to the camera again. Look at all the motherfuckers out there, the blue pill, right? The blue pill people. Why do they all have girlfriends and they get social circle? And why do they all get along? And how come it's so easy for them to close? Because they have unlimited social skills. It's not the game that's getting harder. It's game is getting easier. It's because they have social skills. They don't have body language like the naturals, but they have the social skills like the naturals. Don't you guys get it? Because you guys are fucking gaming POAs, autistic as shit, and sociopathic, and you're part of out tribe, so you need to SMV it with spam approaching and value, and game is the fire hose of your LMS. That's why you don't understand social skills. That's why they can't get the late testimonials, because they don't get this shit. Anyways, yeah. I think that kind of makes sense. Like, John, stop getting so close to the fucking camera. But yeah. So everything is a game changer, even indirect to adaptive to statements of empathy to calling out the new COVID-19 variant in the room is a game changer. Everything's a game changer. The fashion is a game changer, being part of the tribe. And I think after this video, a lot of you realize it's all evolutionary psychology. So even having a good Instagram with the 6 algorithms, and the only way you can learn the 6 algorithms is if you join the inner circle. The inner circle is a group that costs $180 a year. You get to be there, but I have to interview you. My best students, the testimonials, a lot of the guys are in the inner circle. If you guys need some encouragement, you get to learn new tactics that are not taught on YouTube Live. I need to write a new, better sales letter for the inner circle. You guys don't know about it, but the inner circle was supposed to be a top secret group where my best students can join. I don't invite everyone. But maybe during COVID-19, you want to learn more skills. You want to learn high income skills. You want to learn lifestyle. You want to learn some of these algorithms. You want to learn some of these tactics that I don't teach to the public. But that's the problem. When you have these fucking trolls and know-it-alls, they're always like, oh, I disagree with this, I disagree with that. But everything the inner circle works like gangbusters. Like gangbusters. You do everything that I say in there, and you're like, oh, it looks so obvious, right? You have to use a game tactic, right? They're complicating the simple. My Pakistani mentor, the stuff he teaches me are so simple, and it works like crazy. It works like crazy. Even, for example, I have this specific cologne right over here. I won't say the name of it, but all the women was fucking crazy over it. This one. I won't say what it is. The smell of it. And we were day gaming, and I won't say what the name is. And like we know every single fucking tactic, every evolutionary psychology, because the evolutionary psychology, scent is very important. That means only one cologne works. We field tested. We went to the horse racing event, and he got a same day blowjob, and he fucking stole the women from me. You know, he fucking stole the blonde from me, too, because he was faster than me, and he just like. He didn't like the fact that I was number closing her and invited her out. So he went and he raced after her. He got her number 2. He got her out. She was a fucking psycho. She brought her friends. And they stole all the drugs from this other group of social circle. And they kicked her out. And he had to fucking tear her out there and apologize. He got kind of outed from the group. And he's like, fuck, I shouldn't be thinking of my dick. And then he bangs like 4 other women that are 9 out of 10s. Like in a row. And he was pissed off that he got a same-day blowjob because he says that he could have got the numbers and get all these women out, like 4 or 5 of them, all 9 out of 10s, because at the horse racing event, they're all hot. They're all tall and they're all good-looking. The best-looking women in BC. It's all filtered out. We know stuff that you don't know. It's all evolutionary psychology. And this cologne over here, which smells wonderful, women go crazy over it. They'll fight over you. And I won't say what it is. I won't say what it is, but it is a clone of one of the most expensive colognes. A clone. So having said that, this scent is part of evolutionary psychology. Everything is evolutionary psychology, guys. Maybe I can meet you. Maybe you can, but right now I don't want to fucking die from COVID. I'm not vaccinated. But yeah. Are you guys starting to understand what I'm saying? If everything's evolutionary psychology and what I'm teaching you from Elite 30, I'm surprised all of you don't have Elite 30 by now. If you are smart and you're not so depressed by the lockdowns, you'll use it like a ninja and you practice it and you go out there and you close. If you were smart, you'll get the bundle and you can build upwards. But you know, sometimes people rather like not spend money because, oh yeah, we're not making as much as the COVID variants. We're all, or pussy hurts. Well, you sometimes gotta invest in yourself. And here's the problem that I hate the most. The motherfucking know-it-alls. Delusional know-it-alls. None of you motherfucking know-it-alls use your fucking Skype. You hold on to your Skype and he's like, I just want your course. Dude, you need what's in here. The course is like Elon Musk. I saw your course on how to build rockets, therefore I know everything. Do you understand what the fuck I teach? Even when I explained this evolutionary psychology concept, did you understand all that before this? No. Do you understand now? Yeah. Then use your fucking Skypes, you dumb fucks out there. Okay, I'm gonna do this again. You dumb fucks, you should use your fucking Skypes, right? I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You fucking know-it-alls. You think you know everything. Oh, I'm just gonna look at your course. You don't know shit because you're fucking autistic. Nothing lights up in your brain. It's like if a candle was everything that lights up and you understood it, then you start accepting all the other dating coaches gaslighting, all their bullshit, right? And they just fucking tell you lies after lies and you light those up. Now you're gaslighted. But instead, you're not even light up from what I'm teaching you. You look at my course and you think you know everything. You're fucking know-it-all that knows none because you're shallow thinking. You're like looking at a fucking glacier and you're only looking at the top. You're not looking at any depth because autistic people have no depth in their thinking. They're shallow thinkers. Exactly. What weight do you say was too low for me? I wouldn't go below like 170 something or 75. For you want to be 185 to 225 because you're tall and you're black. And that's the thing with my other student. He got so big. He just using my workout program. He just kept getting bigger and bigger. He didn't even fit into his pants, the ones I got him. I remember the first time I told him to wear this certain pants, right? He's like, why am I wearing this stupid brown looking fucking pants? I was like, dude, the inner circle, everyone wears it. All my students wear it. Later on, like 5 fucking lay testimonials in a week, they all wear the same fucking brown pants. The same fucking pants. Everyone. A lot of the student testimony, they're all wearing the same shit. They're like, oh yeah, don't follow John's fashion, find your own. Be woo hand wash and punch in the back of the head. Fucking get shot at and beaten up because you're Wuhan washed. No, it's fucking stupid. If there's a perfect formula, you gotta understand like this. This is the best way to understand about fashion. And I think when I make this last point before I go, because I need to get something to eat, I think this will hit home for a lot of you. This would be like a home run. This would be a mic drop. Good? Better? And best. This thing's running out of ink. Good, better, best. So what the fuck does this mean? For example, you might go direct, and that might be good for certain people that have some SMB, but not good for everyone. In fact, it could be bad. Bad, good. Maybe what's better is to go like a neutral opener. You see that? But what's the best? Adaptive opener, or indirect to adaptive to statements of empathy and calling out the elephant in the room. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the best. Because COVID-19, you got to disarm the fear. You got to fit into try, be natural, and calling out. You got to disarm the fucking fear. This is the best. So what I'm teaching is always the best. So the pants, right? Your own fashion might be good, right? Maybe there's a more calibrated fashion. Go to Zara. Ask women what they want. But what's the best? Using Johnny Leeds' students' fashion in the hairstyle. This is what got 5 fucking late testimonials during lockdown number 3 recently, which I have to post soon. Don't let anyone take credit for it because they don't know what the fuck I teach. They don't, because they don't have any fucking testimonials for COVID-19. And how the fuck can they teach a boot camp out there? There's a fucking virus out there. Unless they don't give a shit. Unless they're complete fucking cycles. Then they don't give a shit. They need the money. How can they get that kind of results? Fucking take credit. They don't even understand what I teach. So they might be teaching something that's better or good. But they're not teaching the best. Objections dealing, right? Fucking wear her out, right? It's compliance threshold or some bullshit, right? If you're a tall white guy with value, then compliance threshold, you can wear her down because, you know, eventually she'll wear herself out. But what's better, you know, is, or what's the best, is to use a statements of empathy. I acknowledge that you got to go home, but your home or my home? Seriously. There's a coffee shop right over there. You get to know me in 5 minutes or less. And you keep looping it until she says yes. And normally I should just say no to you. I'm not into blondes. But when I see you, right, I just want to get to know you better. You never know. I could be a very important person in your life. And there's only a $2 coffee. I can afford it. And what's the worst thing that could happen? Maybe you'll make a new friend. Who knows, right? Or maybe you might introduce me to somebody else. Or I introduce you to somebody else. You find the future lover of your dreams and stuff. But okay, yes, let's go and have that fucking coffee. That's the best. They're fucking stupid compliance threshold. They're fucking flow charts. Why not use my fucking formula? Because when you use statements of empathy, you're grabbing the fucking gi of the opponent. And when you're asking a question, so what time do you have to go home? Or why do you have to go home? Because I had to do this. I acknowledge you have to do this, but now you pull it again. Then you fucking flip them over and over. And you loop it until they're over your fucking shoulders. And when they're over your shoulders, then you slam them. But it takes a little bit of resistance. You see that? It's like judo. Leverage. But their one's always like this. You're just like, I'm a big tall ogre. I'm going to use compliance threshold. Ugh. You got to use one hand and you're going to keep wearing her out until she eventually falls over because you're fucking tall value. You're evolutionary psychology, stupid fucking autistic face value. Ugh. Ugh. Fucking flow charts. And guess what happens? What works for the flow charts? Tall white students. 95% of the students that get testimonials for Tinder, which doesn't even count as like counts, are white. 2 blacks and 1 token Asian. Unless there's more token Asians, that's all it is. Flow chart my fucking ass. Look at my students. Look at my black student. He's like, John told me what to text. Look at my tall Asian student. John told me what to text. Look at boot camp. John told me to text this if you came out. Because I know how to fucking throw. These dumb motherfuckers, I know how to throw off balance. And then grab the gi again and throw over my fucking shoulder. Because that's the best. You see that? Good, better, best. They might be good for certain people, but they're not better. There's a better way of objections dealing, and I'm showing the best. Mic drop. That's all I gotta say. Fucking 2 late testimonials. Unbelievable.